So I took this project forward, and we had to go build the plant, which was going to be a $100 million plant. The German government said after the plant was up and running, they would give us a reimbursement for 80 million of that. But I still had to get the $100 million from the board of directors. So I was asked to come and present to the board of directors. Now, I had never done that before. I was still relatively mid-career, and I was kind of scared to make this presentation to the board of directors. And because I was afraid, I made a stupid decision. The vice president who asked me to present couldn't meet with me until the night before the presentation. Both of us had busy schedules. And so about 7 o'clock the night before the presentation, I met and showed him my slides that I was going to present to the board of directors asking for the $100 million. Here's what I did. This little presentation just shows you the kind of logic path that I used in the presentation. So I said, we've got this great hydrocarbon resin opportunity that will make us a lot of money because we're going to take a raw material that we're currently burning, and then we're going to take, I began to just go through step by step. I talked about all the things we're going to be doing with the raw materials. I said, but we've never done any of this kind of thing before, so we need to get we need technology on how to work with hydrocarbon resins. But there's a company in Japan, now remember, this plant's in East Germany. Well, there's a company in Japan called Nippon Steel who has technology on how to work with these hydrocarbon resins, and they've agreed to sign a license with us. Now, the problem is that will make kind of a yellowish, ugly-looking resin, but we want to sell this into applications that use clear and transparent adhesives. And so there's another company called Arakawa who can make, who can turn the yellow stuff into the clear stuff, and they've agreed to sign a license with another manufacturing technology that we would have to use. But because this product will now be water white, we're going to be able to sell it for $2,000 a ton instead of $1,000 a ton. It's a more specialty product with less competitors. This is going to be an amazing kind of thing that we can take out to the marketplace. But we need some application technology. We've never done any of this, and we haven't sold into these applications. But Arakawa used to sell in Europe before they ran out of product because they maxed out their capacity, and they fell back into just selling in Japan. But they still have all their customer base and application base for Europe, and they would sign an agreement with us to provide the technology, and they would also sign agreements to help us work with their past customer base to be able to sell this stuff through another joint venture. Now, all of these kind of joint ventures and licenses and everything will cause us to sign 12 different licenses and joint ventures, but we're going to make a lot of money, and we're going to make this thing work, and man, we got to do it. Well, I really didn't make it through the whole presentation to the vice president. He threw his hands up in the air and said, "What in the heck are you doing? Stop. If you present this presentation to the board, they will throw you out on your ear, or they will just excoriate you for hours, asking you terrible sets of questions that you'll never be able to answer and never satisfy them. They will hate this presentation, and you'll never get the money."